Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Fans YouTube channel. Time to talk on Monday Night Raw. I'm finally recording this on a Tuesday, the day after. I'm on top of my shit, at least for today. Actually, that's a lie, because I've had lots of college work to do, and I've done out. But regardless, Monday Night Raw was amazing. I woke up 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, and watched it straight away. Let's talk first thing that happened. Cena started off the show. That's what we want. Cena starts off the show as undisputed WWE champion, comes out, complains about R-Truth coming back, gives the whole shtick to the audience, you know, and then reverts back to the dates. It's the first time he's done the dates since after WrestleMania. We now only have 19 dates left. Not happy about it, considering we're halfway through now, literally. If you exclude... Well, no, actually, no, he did exclude tonight. Yeah, but literally halfway through, and we've had the Elimination Chamber, the Rock story that led nowhere, winning the title off Cody, cheating to win, cheating to beat Randy, and then destroying R-Truth, and then we just had this tag match. That's when CM Punk came out, and it was so early in the morning I couldn't even comprehend what I was looking at, but I was buzzing, because this is exactly what we wanted. When we heard John Cena was having a retirement tour, we wanted Cody, we wanted Randy, but we also wanted CM Punk, and we wanted AJ Styles, and we wanted all these either fantasy matches or matches that have solidified Cena's career. CM Punk, although it was not Cena's most frequent feud, I'd argue was Cena's best feud, was Cena's most, I'd say, biggest rivalry. I'd say the rivalry between Cena and CM Punk was bigger than the rivalry between Cena and Randy Orton. Cena and Randy Orton cross paths a lot of times. And they were very competitive with one another. But Cena and Punk was just bad blood every time they were in the ring together. It was amazing. And the crazy part about that was that, like, although Punk was the heel, he was for the people, and so was Cena, because Cena was a face. I feel like when they were feuding, both of them were the faces, they were just fighting for two different things. Cena was fighting for the company, Punk was fighting for the people. Now, when Cena's a heel, and Punk is an ultimate babyface, it's still the same thing. Punk is still fighting for the people, except now he's also fighting for the business, and Cena's fighting for himself, and he's against the people. It's so crazy. But then CM Punk said, if you got any balls, we'll do this match tonight. And that would have been cool, because imagine we had a World Championship match and a WWE Championship match in the same show. But obviously that wasn't going to happen. And Cena said, no, we'll do it in Night of Champions. This got me a bit, because CM Punk has said a lot of stuff about Saudi Arabia and said how much he doesn't like Saudi Arabia. And in a way, don't get me wrong, I am very happy this match is happening, but I was a bit disappointed it was in Saudi Arabia. Not in terms of, I have a personal problem with it, but I feel like of all the matches to put in Saudi Arabia, why be this one? The people of WWE, the people of America and England and all over the world, I'm not dissing Saudi, but you don't have the biggest WWE fan base. You just have a lot of money. To have the one match people want to see the most in Saudi Arabia is sort of insulting. And I'm not expecting it at SummerSlam, because I know he's facing Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. But because of Cody and Jay beating Cena and Logan Paul at Money in the Bank, and then that would obviously lead to Cody having a title shot at SummerSlam, could it not have been done the other way around? Could we not have had Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank like we wanted, and then did the fantasy match with Logan Paul, who's your celebrity, and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, who are your merch sellers, and John Cena, who's your biggest draw? That in a tag match, like, those slapped together, just a bunch of fancy names slapped together, and it didn't really have much of a story. I feel like that would have been more appropriate for Night of Champions, personally. I feel like Punk Cena definitely made more sense for Money in the Bank, but it's fine, we're getting it now. We can't complain. I'm not sure how good the match is going to be, because both men are no longer in their peaks. Say what you want, right? Like, I know people love CM Punk, but the man is far past his prime. And so is Cena. But it's going to be good just to see it happen one last time. So that was a great way to start the show. We are now also starting the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. We're having Fatal 4-Way matches. So I had, for the first round, and then it'll lead into the semi-finals. So we had a women's one which was Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Kairi Sane, and Liv Morgan. Obviously, Roxanne trying to earn Judgment Day's respect, and she was saying, "Oh, Liv, I'll have your back out there." And Liv said, "No, you just stay out my way, okay? Because I'm gonna win this, and I'm gonna go on." And it was a match of, Rhea's dominant, and then with the added bonus of Kairi, Liv and Roxanne ended up working together, and it was working in their favour until Kairi nearly had Liv pinned, and Roxanne stole the pin and pinned Kairi. Roxanne expects Liv to be proud of her and sort of accept her on Judgment Day for A, helping her in the match, B, save her from getting pinned, and C, showing how good she is by getting the win. Instead, Liv felt like the win was stole off her, and this caused a backstage moment with the Judgment Day. And when Roxanne got back, Finn gave her credit and told Dom to give her credit, and Dom did give her credit, which is exactly when Liv walked in. So we get the awkward moment of Liv being like, "Oh, you liked what happened there, did you?" So then when Liv stormed off, Finn said, "Oh, you're going to deal with that?" He goes, "I've got a match," because Dom's in another fatal 4-way. And Finn kind of laughs his head off a bit when all this commotion and conflict is happening, because Finn was the one who was having the conflict, and everyone was getting in Finn's way and acting like it was Finn's fault. Now Finn is the puppet master, and he's loving it, and this is going to be the divide in the Judgment Day. I mean, you saw it. It was Finn, JD, and Roxanne, and then there was Dom, Liv, and Raquel. Who knows, right? And this is great, because later in the show, Nikki Bella comes out, right? How funny would it have been if John Cena was the one to interrupt Nikki Bella's promo, but it's fine. Nikki Bella comes out, and she's obviously coming back for Evolution, which I forgot to mention is also in between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. We are getting that at the end of June. I believe that's before Night of Champions. I think so, yeah. I think that's our next pay-per-view is Evolution. Or I could be wrong. Anyway, Nikki Bella comes out because obviously they're going to want a big woman from history to be a part of Evolution. He has me thinking Nikki Bella's coming back to have a full-time run as a wrestler. Probably not. And she goes, "Oh yeah, all these women are doing great. You got Rhea Ripley," and names a bunch of women's wrestlers, Becky Lynch, Bayley. And now you've got these newer superstars like Roxanne Perez, Julia, and then she says, Stephanie Vacquet. Sorry, did you just read her name off a piece of paper? You obviously do not know who they are. You obviously do not know, oh, they're the fresh new talent that are so incredibly talented. You don't care. Just say you don't care. Wrestling was your job. It's not anymore. You lost interest. You don't care. You're here for the money. You're here for the opportunity. Obviously, you're not going to say that on TV, but it's obvious when you say Stephanie Vacquet. If I was Stephanie Vacquet, I would never accept a handshake or accept anything from Nikki Bella, because Stephanie Vacquet, that's a massively disrespectful to the fastest rising female star in WWE right now. That is an insult. But anyway, Liv Morgan comes out, rightfully so, storming down the ramp, shouting at Nikki Bella, being like, whoa, you mentioned all these people, you didn't mention me. I've carried the women's division for the last year. Fact. She was women's world champion for most of last year. Fact. And she's one of the most dominant and greatest ever women's tag team champions. Fact. And she felt a bit disrespected. And then her and Nikki had a bit of a back and forth where Nikki kind of prodded the bear bit, saying, "Ooh, Dom's supposed to be your man, but it looks like he's falling a bit for Roxanne." And obviously it's not true, but she's prodding the bear there. And that's when Liv said, "You're mad because I have everything you don't have. I have a title," which she doesn't have. "I have respect," which apparently Nikki doesn't have. I mean, I have more respect for Liv than I do for Nikki. No offense to Nikki. Liv's from my... Well, no, actually, I was technically from Nikki's era, sort of. But at the same time, Stephanie Vacquet, stocks have dropped for me. And then she goes, "I have a man." And obviously Nikki Bella has been married and divorced, engaged and broke up many times. John Cena, she's had probably multiple husbands after that. Yeah, so that was a cool promo, cool moment, I can't even lie. But let's talk about the men's. I got 10 minutes into this video, not even halfway through the show. Men's qualifying match for the first round was Fatal 4-Way. We had Sami Zayn, we had Braun Breaker, we had Dirty Dominic Mysterio, we had Penta. Basically a WrestleMania rematch, but replace AJ Styles with Sami Zayn, which was fine because Sami Zayn got the win. And it just makes me think, if AJ Styles was in the match, would AJ Styles get the win? Because get this. AJ Styles, you didn't put into the Money in the Bank ladder match for whatever reason. It's not like El Grande Maracona won, but you had AJ Styles, take the pin to El Grande Americano, but it's fine because we thought, oh yeah, he's chasing the Intercontinental title. No, that's never happened. In fact, we've just completely forgot about it. He's not gone after the Judgment Day. He's not gone after anyone. In fact, if he mentioned anything, he mentioned how Seth Rollins sent Paul Heyman to give him mind games before the match, and that's why AJ lost. This is bullshit, right? So AJ had a random match against Chad Gable and beat him, right? So, okay, he gets pinned by El Grande Americano and cannot go on a Money in the Bank ladder match, but on the Raw after Money in the Bank, he can pin Chad Gable in a pointless, meaningless match and not being King of the Ring. You tell me if AJ's not being Intercontinental champ, not in the Intercontinental title picture for whatever reason, even though you said he would be, he can't qualify for Money in the Bank and he can't qualify for King of the Ring. You're telling me Sami Zayn's win King of the Ring? You're lying. Seth Rollins is going to ruin it. I mean, we'd love to see Sami Zayn win King of the Ring and we'll get Sami Zayn Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam where Sami Zayn wins it. That would be amazing. But that's not going to happen, is it? No, Sami Zayn's not going to win because Seth's going to cost him. Why not add AJ Styles in Sami's place or add AJ Styles to that match, have Seth cost Sami then, and AJ Styles advance in the King of the Ring tournament where we can see AJ shine and give him his last pieces of moments in his career because he's not at the peak level he was before, but he's still got something left. And the way they're treating him is disrespectful. It is disrespectful. And he doesn't need to be world champion again. I'll be completely blunt. He doesn't even need to be a champion again. Winning something like King of the Ring or having a meaningful feud where he beats a top star would be enough respect on AJ Styles' name as his career comes to an end. My guy's in his 40s, probably late 40s. He's not got long left. And WWE are disrespecting him as if he didn't carry 2016 through 2018. As if he didn't do that. Because he did. That's the crazy part. In those years, he was beating John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens 1,000 times. He ended Jinder Mahal's painful reign. Like, are we not respecting that? I mean, come on, man. Bullshit. But whatever. Sami got the win. That's good. That was good. And then there was a bit of a thing backstage with Sami and Karrion, which was put on commercial break, you know. So Karrion Kross fans are pissed. And look, I love that, you know, We Want Truth worked and We Want Cody worked last year. And we all want Karrion Kross to be pushed. Just like we want AJ Styles and Chad Gable and all these people to be pushed. But everyone's screaming on social media, push Karrion Kross. I don't know if that's the way to do it. That's the best way to get WWE to listen. I don't know if it's fair because we can say that about anyone, couldn't we? We want to push them. But it's true. They should push them. And they've got a spare spot, which I'm assuming they're going to put some mystery superstar in there next week. We're all hoping it's Karrion Kross, but it's probably not going to be. And yeah, Karrion Kross should be pushed. Doesn't mean he should be King of the Ring or WWE Champion, but like, you know, definitely he deserves that 100%. But I'm just saying, we need something, you know, and everyone's got to build their own way up. But WWE need to do something with Karrion Kross because giving him his segments after everything he's pointing out, and then blatantly giving him his segments on commercial breaks where literally no one can see them. Bullshit, really bullshit. And they've just showed a promo package for Mr. Iguana, who was incredible and amazing when I saw him on Worlds Collide. But I'm guessing he's going to be the mystery person next week in that Fatal 4-Way and not Karrion Kross. I'll be honest, Mr. Iguana does not need to be King of the Ring. Mr. Iguana can put on a banger with anyone and it'll be entertaining. He does not need King of the Ring. And he probably won't even win that match, so don't put him in. Karrion Kross, put him in, because he can win that one. You get me, right? And I've realised I've just said all this about AJ Styles, and he could be in the match next week. I don't know. But I'm happy Sami Zayn's won. That's what I've got from this. God. And I forgot to mention, at the end of Cena and Punk's promo, Seth did come out and just hold the briefcase up. No words said, just holding the briefcase up, just letting them know I've got the briefcase, I'm here. Okay then. Then we had Becky come out to cut a promo and start complaining that Lyra Valkyria aggressively raised her hand. And it was the deal to raise the hand. Lyra Valkyria did it aggressively and hurt her shoulder. And then Lyra Valkyria, like a sore loser, attacked Becky after the fact. And that's when Lyra came out, you know, because Becky said, come out, do it again, do it properly. Rhea came out with a face like thunder, heavily over-exaggerated, but it's fine, because that's what got John Cena over. And she came out, face like furious, if I'm going to fight you now. And that's when Bayley returned. That's when Bayley returned. You know, WWE and their timing, let them be creative in it. Right, Bayley returns, my goat is back, Bayley. Purple hair, Evolution. I originally thought Night of Champions, but of course, stupid me forgets that A, it's Saudi Arabia, that don't really care about the women's wrestling there, and B, they've got Evolution. Evolution, I smell triple threat match where Becky retains, and then SummerSlam, it's Becky, Bayley, lock off the feud after that. That's how I see this, and that's great. That's a great plan. I like the triple threat match with Becky getting the win, and I like the thought of SummerSlam where Bayley can probably, Bayley hopefully wins, but Becky will definitely win. Regardless, that's exciting. Well, I had a bit of a interview with the New Day when Kathy Kelly asked, "Are you going to defend the titles again?" They went, "We'll just defend them 2 weeks ago. Give us some challenge, and then we'll do it." Which is true, because who have you got? War Raiders, okay, beat them 1,000 times. Creed Brothers, okay, beat them. LWO, not had a match in God knows how long. Alpha Academy, not had a match in God knows how long. And both of them got squashed by Rusev. A-Town Down Under, who you're not using. And Judgment Day, who said they're going to go reclaim the World Tag Team Championships, but have done nothing of the sort. I mean, they beat the War Raiders last week, but again, still done nothing. So maybe we'll get a Judgment Day New Day. But apart from that, Raw needs a better tag division. I mean, SmackDown's tag division, like, they put all the tag teams on SmackDown. They've got some tag teams on Raw, but they're not utilising them properly. And people say Raw's got all the stars. They do, but that's male stars. Raw's suffering for female stars and suffering for tag teams. NXT, SmackDown has got all the women and all the tag teams, and then Raw's got all the men. What's going on? It's backwards. Anyway. Then, what else did we have? Nothing between Rusev and Sheamus, but they're both in the match next week. So nothing to add towards that feud. We had a bit of stirrings. You know, we're seeing Austin Theory and Grayson Waller arguing a bit backstage, which Becky walked past when she walked in the building. And then just before Kathy Kelly interviewed the New Day, after she was done interviewing AJ Styles, she walked in on Grayson Waller complaining to New Day, obviously about Austin Theory. He seemed a bit annoyed, but he walked away and didn't say much. So maybe after about 2 years, we're finally going to get Austin Theory and Grayson Waller splitting, which is good and bad. I think they're good as a tag team, and they had so much potential, but WWE wasted it. So the fact that WWE have wasted it, I feel like they should just go on solo paths now. And Grayson can do great, and Austin Theory needs to be fucking pushed. I'll be honest, 2-3 years ago when they were trying to push him, I wasn't feeling it. Maybe it was a bit premature. But now that they're not doing it and he's just nobody, it seems stupid because he is a good talent. I just think they pushed him too quick, it failed, and then they completely forgot it all. No, you didn't slowly progress him, and you should have slowly progressed him. Like, come on, beating John Cena at WrestleMania 39. Killed it for me. Killed it. Anyways, Io Sky, yet again, not had a match, but she did have a bit of a moment with Nikki Bella. Not that Nikki Bella knows who she is. She probably found out who she was 5 minutes before the show. So that don't matter. Just thinking, I could probably move on to the main event now. Main event, Jey Uso defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. Boy, am I happy. I mean, I did not think Gunther would win this match. I mean, I thought WWE were trying to build the story of that Jey Uso defies the odds, and he's the guy, you know, he can overcome it, and he can be a main superstar. Do you know what I mean? He beat Gunther at WrestleMania, tapped him out, and Gunther pointed out how he's got all this going on with Seth and Seth's faction, then he's got the stuff with Logan Paul and John Cena, and he said it would all become too overwhelmed for Jey Uso. And before the match, WWE made sure to point out that on the Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins and his crew beat up Jey Uso. Then on SmackDown, Logan Paul and John Cena beat up Jey Uso. And then at Money in the Bank, Jey Uso got beat up the whole match. Even though him and Cody got the win, he got beat up the whole match, then got put through a table by Logan Paul. So in this match with Gunther, his ribs were hurting. And Gunther was dominating quite a bit, but I felt like Jey Uso, like, what happened? Gunther's supposed to be the dominant one. Jey Uso's meant to be the ultimate underdog. It felt like Jey Uso reversed more moves than there was punches thrown in this whole match. Like, what's going on? Like, Jey was reversing moves, and Gunther won with a sleeper, but he put Jey Uso in a sleeper about 15 different times. When Jey put Gunther in a sleeper, he sold for it. When Gunther put Jey in a sleeper, Jey would just roll him out or dive into the turnbuckle. I mean, it's part of the story that Jey's avoiding the sleeper, but God, talking about making him look good in defeat. But eventually, Gunther choked out Jey Uso and won the title. People were shocked. The building was stunned. The building went silent. But I think it was a good decision. People weren't happy when Jey won the title. Now they're not happy when he's lost it. So make your fucking mind up. I think Gunther was the right champion from the beginning. I think Gunther should have beat Jey Uso. And it wouldn't have killed Jey Uso whatsoever. I just think Gunther should have retained, been dominant, and then whoever won King of the Ring this year would dethrone Gunther on the 1 year anniversary of Gunther's reign. But it was fine. Jey Uso had its run. He doesn't need another one until at least somewhere down the line in the future. Let him have just some feuds, right? Let him just have, you've given him the Intercontinental title, you've given him the World title, you've established him as a good solo superstar. Let him have some runs and feuds. Let Gunther be the world champion for however long until you figure out who the next one is, which I reckon is probably Sami Zayn. That was it, really, for the show. It was a great match to end the show. I thought Seth might try and cash in, but I'm glad he didn't. Yeah, banging show. Can't lie, no complaints. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.